Shout out our sponsors, GW Competitions. They run regular draws for you to win different prizes from cash to Rolexes to cars and all sorts. It's all legit and the draw is run through the Google number generator. And the prize is delivered the next day, and if it's cash, it's transferred the same day. The draws are run on Facebook Live and Instagram Live. And you got to be in it to win it.
Ayo, who made this? Ammo 7 did it again.
So we're here again, Big Ego Media. We're with Inch. Some of you guys remember from Cream Cartel. We're gonna start from the very beginning, as we always do. Like, first and foremost, how are you today?
Yeah, man, I'm blessed, bro, man. How are you?
Not too bad, not too bad.
Yeah,
Croydon
man,
just feels far. I feel like a far place when you're traveling.
It's like that. We're at the edge still, but yeah, man.
I hear that, man. So, let's go from the very get-go. Where you from? What's your family background?
Yeah, parents, Jamaican. You get me? My father's from Jamaica.
Yeah.
My mom's born here.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I grew up in Fort Heath. Man's like, kind of like the first generation of black youths in Fort Heath. You get me? Like, when I first moved to Fort Heath, it was predominantly white.
Yeah.
And over the years, that whole thing's kind of changed. So, yeah, man.
I mean, growing up in Fort Heath, that era, was it a dangerous place at the time, or did they have the reputation that it has now?
The reputation weren't as bad as it has now, but it was, you always saw it getting there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Cause for instance, we always had like, all the good dances were in Fort Heath. So all the bashment dances that man used to go to back in the days, man from Brixton, Peckham, man from all over will come to Croydon, Heath to come dances and that. You get me? So, yeah, you can see it had the potential of getting bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And whatever not. But yeah, now it's kind of crazy down here.
How was your childhood? Do you remember yourself having a happy childhood? What?
Yeah, man, my childhood was alright still. You get me? Like, you know, grew up like every other black kid as such. Single mum. You know what I mean? Got siblings.
How was you academically in school?
I didn't come out with nothing.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, I'm a smart youth. You get me? Like, anyone who knows me as such will know. Right,
Sometimes people, when it comes to the educational side, are not so savvy compared to when they're more business minded in the real world. So you say you was more that side.
I wasn't, you know, the academic thing or people telling me what to do or what to learn.
Yeah.
You get me? Half of the things they teach us is like irrelevant today. You know what I'm trying to say? So I was never drawn to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah.
So you said come from a single mum dwelling. Did your dad ever play a part in your life at all?
Yeah, my dad played a part in my life. You get me? Definitely. Not strong part.
Yeah.
You get me? But he played a little part. I'd see him now and again. My stepdad more grew me up.
Yeah.
You get me? More than anything. Like, he was with my mum for longer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So you come from a family, I guess it's quite well known. Your younger brother, Swiss, older brother, Mega. You're all from the same. Is it because I got 20 brothers and sisters, so my dad was here, there, everywhere. Got brothers and sisters everywhere. Is that similar with you guys, or is it sort of same?
Yeah, like obviously they're from Over Junction.
Okay.
You get me? You got my little brother Inch and Megs. You get me? Have the same father.
Okay.
So you know, so through that we've grown up. Like, you know, we're brothers. You know what I mean?
Okay.
At the end of the day, we grew up, you know.
So, at the height of everything that was sort of happening in that era, when I guess they started with So Solid, was it something that when you're looking across, like, right, So Solid is a movement, did you feel sort of proud? Did that inspire you to start doing music?
Hell yeah. Like, I remember from the first rave that they had at Channel Club. You get me? And that was a success. And I was like, right, you know what? They're onto something here.
Yeah.
You get me? And then like every day, like it was just progressing. And then Megs made Oh No. Yeah. And that was it. Like, we just knew it was going to happen.
What was the station back in the day? Was it Delight?
Supreme FM was the first station. That's where they first started. Okay, and then Situation happened with Supreme.
Okay.
So they said, right, forget that, we're going to do our own thing. You get me? And that's something that, you know, my brother's born with still.
Yeah.
Like,
So yourself, was you sort of MCing? Because them time everyone's MCing.
Nah, man, I weren't MCing at all them times. There, obviously, you know, man's coming from a musical background, so man know how to put words together and things like that. It's not rocket science, you know what I'm trying to say? So man always knew how to do that. But yeah, like I wasn't really doing that. And then I saw obviously what my brother was doing. You get me? And obviously I'll try and fit in where I can and whatever not and things like that. Like, you know what I mean? But yeah, obviously that inspired me. Yeah.
But you never ever spat yourself at the time? Or
At the time, no. At the time, for about, I don't know, let me see. So Solid must have been going on for about 2 or 3 years strong, and then I decided, raw, you know what? I can do this. You get me? I can do this. I've got, you get me, friends that I hang around with that can rap too, as well. You get me as well? So I was like, you know what? Let me try and do this thing myself.
Did you sort of seek advice from Megan and them that say, look, I'm trying to do this thing as well. Any advice you can give me? Or you thought, I'm going to do it alone and see what comes of it?
No, obviously my brother's like my main backer. Like he always supported me in this thing straight away from the word off. In fact, we got signed. I got signed to a major record label in 2002. Okay. And get me, and that was through Solid Beats, my brother's imprint that he had with Sony Independiente. You know what I mean? So he signed us. And we was working. I was working in big studios that Madonna and that working. And you get me? I was going to places like that. You get me? He brought that life to me and my friends, you know what I mean? Straight away, always supported my thing. So yeah, like from the jump, man, I see how, you know, So Solid started from the beginning.
Did you start with the rapping though, or was it?
Yeah, I started rapping.
Straight away.
So yeah, I started rapping. That's what I was doing first. I was rapping, and me and my brother in Morocco. You get me? He's a big football agent now. Big up Morocco. You get me? But yeah, me and him started it together, kind of thing. So he knew some of the artists on one side, I knew some of the artists, and we kind of bring it together. And that's how we created like Cream Cartel. But that was all from watching what my brother and that's already doing. You know what I mean? So yeah, man.
So we Cream Cartel. Who came up with the name?
I did.
Yeah. What was behind that?
Obviously, like the cream, you know, in the hood, that stands for cash rules everything around me. And yeah, I think that's, you know, that's standard. It does. We can't do nothing without money. You get me? So I kind of use that narrative and just put cartel. You get me? Instead of crew, cartel.
So there's always this narrative of when people sort of got their foot in two worlds. Like you're trying to do the music thing or the football thing, or you're trying to be legit, whatever it is. But you got the road side of it. Was you someone that was trying to do both at the same time? Yeah,
I was always doing both. Man. Always doing both, and that's a hard thing to do. It's never nothing possible to do. But I had no choice to do that because obviously in our day, after getting signed and whatever not, and you know, the industry kind of dropping for urban music at that time. So like everybody was getting dropped really. YouTube wasn't even out yet to push itself. You was counting on Channel U to become famous. You know what I'm trying to say? So when that kind of dropped, obviously I'm back on the road. You know what I mean? So at the same time, I'm trying to fund what I'm doing off of road money. So I had no choice but to have one foot in and one foot out. You know what I'm trying to say? Like I made a lot of sacrifices for music still, and a lot of the artists that was around me. You know? And
do you think you made too many sacrifices?
Definitely. Come on, man, I could have fed my son and clothed my son and my daughter, and you get me, gave my girl some more money and whatever not. But I sacrificed those things for music, thinking, you know, one day it's gonna happen.
I mean, with Cream Cartel, you had Dubz and Page at the time as well, sort of really recognized as sort of the forefront of UK rap at the time. How did you guys' friendship even start?
So Page first track that he rapped with us was Bang Bang.
Okay, that's the first time
That's the first time we ever met, and he got on the track.
So you met him at someone invited him at the studio?
Morocco, like I said, he's my partner in Cream Cartel. He met Page. I said, bro, this brother's hard, bro. You've got to come studio. So at the time, we went to, what studio we go to? Para. Para's a big producer in the game. Like anybody who knows about music properly, like real urban music, you know, he's big in the game. You get me? Done a lot of garage tunes that we all rave to now. You get me? And stuff like that. Like he's done a lot. So yeah, we went there. I think I recorded the thing first. I recorded my verse first. And everyone was like, right, yeah, that's kind of hard. And for them times, I don't think it's that hard now, but for them times, it was hard. You get me? But yeah, so then Page jumped on the track as well. It gelled nicely. Then we put Stickman on it and we put Mega on it afterwards. yeah, this went mad for those kind of times there. For how hard it was to get music out there and get it heard, I think we done very well with that track. You get me? Like Tim Westwood, them times there, Tim Westwood was only having Americans on his station. There was hardly any UK people. And he called us, said, yeah, man, come up, bust a freestyle, whatever not. I brought Young Spray up there with us. You know what I mean? Went up there, shelled it down, whatever not. But yeah, I think we done pretty well. YouTube weren't even out yet. You get me? It was getting heard on BBC One at the time, and that was hard. You get me? Very, very hard. So through BBC One Extra, it got so many plays that they said, right, you know what, we need to put it on a show on BBC One. And that's what it done. Westwood paid to put it on his mixtape. At the time, no one was doing the mixtape, Big Dog and all those things. He came and gave us a check, so big up Westwood. Yeah, man. Yeah.
And how did you start working with Dubz as well?
Dubsy, so Page had a tune that he played me, and Dubs was rapping over the phone.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know, something must have happened anyway, and he ended up being in Jamaica.
Okay.
So he's over there for a minute, and he rapped something over the phone, and Page put it on the track. And I was like, "Yo, brother, who's that?" And if I remember rightly, I swear, Dubs must have called Page one day from yard, and I spoke to him. I said, "Brother, you're hard, are you mad? Listen, when you come back, you're in. You get me?" So as soon as he come back over, bang, straight in the studio. Boom, he just went in there, just torch it up. You get me? Just went in there, torch it up. Like, I'm a very big fan of Dubs. Like, I'm probably his biggest fan. Like, and you don't even know it, but very talented artist, man. And Page.
So why do you think then? Because like I said, you guys had a movement going on, which was sort of had the streets. Everybody was watching. Why do you think then it didn't materialize as much as where other people went?
I keep it 100. I definitely had some people moving sideways within my camp. You get me? Moving very sideways, which is a shame. You get me? Like, oh, they were my people. You get what I'm trying to say? We grew up together. I think fame does.
Does money and fame divide people all the time?
It definitely does. You get me? It definitely does. And I was never that person to be like, I'm not a greedy guy. I always try to do whatever I could. But I don't know, some people have different thoughts, man. You get me? And like, you know, trying to create something off of something that isn't even there yet, but you're still trying to go on and create something else. And you know what I'm trying to say? Like, when, you know, we're all in the boat together. Any money I get, you get. Let's go. Just make it happen. You get me? But not everyone was thinking on the same page. So in certain little situations, it made things happen that shouldn't have happened. You get me? Really and truly. You know what I mean? I think obviously where Page and Dubs being younger than some of the peers that was around us, they would often listen to them. Like, you know, hear something that they might say and take it, and you know what I mean? And that's what kind of creates certain problems, which I ain't really going to talk too much about.
In regards to sort of today, is there sort of a friendship still? Or is it a thing like where everyone's in their own corners? Could there be a Cream Cartel track in 2021?
Do you know what? Like, I have no problem with nothing like that. You get me? I'm trying to say I'm past that. I'm a big man now. You get me? I've got, my son's a big man. You get what I'm trying to say as such? And my daughter's a big woman, so I ain't got time for no petty things or anything like that. But yeah, if it ever happened, it happened. You get me? Like, I ain't gonna directly go out my way. You get me, to make something happen, because I've done that a lot myself. You get me? But if the man them said, yo, you know what? I think it'll make history, to be honest.
And there's that same period, I watched the interview the other day with Giggs, and it sort of talks about him being a fan of Page and Dubz at the time. So did you ever have a relationship with him at the time as well?
Right, so Giggs, I met Giggs through a person that we both know. You get me? So he was one of my peers. He was their friend. You get me? So I met him through that. But I remember when he was talking about, actually, I wanted to address one of the things is to touch it up on that gig. You get me? Where I remember when he said he wanted to work with Page. But at the time, he wanted to come to the studio where he was at. But at the time, one of my friends was in a bit of trouble, and we couldn't let too much people come around there. And I knew that Page ain't gonna go to Peckham at the time, because you know there was a little divide there at one point with some of the people that he knew. So I know he wouldn't really feel comfortable going there. And I remember saying to my friend, "Yo, Dubs, he's hard." You get me? And then somehow that connection got made, and then he heard that tune, and then, you know, they went together and made Riding Spinners and something else. You get me? But yeah, you get me? I remember that story properly, man. There's a couple stories
Was you,
still.
who was you listening to at the time then, apart from your own team? Who was you sort of keeping an eye out at those times?
Swiss was working from the same studio as us.
Yeah.
You get me? Swiss, like, you can learn a lot from my bro Swiss. You get me? Like, he's very, very knowledgeable. You know what I mean? Very good rapper.
You also said that on your Westfield, you guys decided to bring Young Spray. How's that connection? Is that through Mega? And North Star? North Star. We met in Napa. Well, they met my brother in Napa. Yeah. I first met Wesley through one of my big homies, MB. Yeah.
You get me? Like, I met him over here. I think it must have been about, I don't know, maybe a year or 6 months before I ended up seeing him in Napa. Yeah. And then Napa now, I think they kind of came over there with that attitude. No, like what we'd be in London, like, rah, man's gonna board the clubs and there, no bouncers can't. And the bouncers over there don't have it.
Okay.
You get me? So they got into a little tussle with certain things happening. The bouncers weren't letting them in no clubs and that. Okay. You get me? So I must have seen Wesley come with like, raw, brother, what going on? Obviously, he told me the story of what's going on. Like, raw, brother, don't let man in no clubs. And I said, raw, Migs. Then time my bro in Napa. Yeah. Bro, he's the man, Napa. Yeah. Like, when he's over there, shit gets shut down. You get me? Well, like, straight up and down. So, you know, I said to Migs, like, raw, them man are getting in trouble going in the clubs, you know, like, raw, they have to roll with us to get this my dog, MB, whatever, not. He said, all right, cool. You get me? No drama, So after that, from that day onwards, it was just like a connection. You get me? Yeah, it just came close and whatever not. You know what I mean?
I mean, talking about Napa, there's also another situation you guys had out there with Dizzie Rascal, where he ended up getting into issues over there. Can you sort of touch on what led to that?
Yeah, I touched on it a little bit. I'd say this it started with Dizzie doing something he shouldn't have done. Yeah. You get me? Like, he touched a young lady that's within our camp, you know, touched her ass or whatever. And obviously that's inappropriate.
Did he do it deliberately? Was it a thing like where he was being cheeky?
Yeah. Well, as far as I know, it was deliberate. Yeah, like, he definitely was deliberate. You know what I mean? So, you know, we've ended up down insomnia and throwing few punches, whatever, not You get me? Face has come out, wrapped his chain around his hand, hit Wiley in his head. Wiley's run off up the road, kind of thing. You get me? And obviously, you know, maybe, I don't know, there was some embarrassment there a little bit on their part. But, you know, like I said, it kind of started with Diz doing something that he shouldn't have done. You get me? Kind of thing. So, yeah. That's, mad situation still.
And then that obviously led up to what the situation.
But then the next day, I think, remember rightly now, one of our guys from Soul Solid was riding up the road. But he's not a member of Soul Solid or nothing. He just got a t-shirt on. He's not a member or anything like that. You know what I'm trying to say? But because he had a t-shirt on, while he seen that, kicked him off his bike. Okay. You know, gave him a few punches and kicks and that as well, and then took out a knife and said, "Raw, tell Mega 1-1." Like, okay. Obviously, you know, man get down, everyone gets down. You get me? When it's time to get busy, man get busy. Obviously, you get me? Like, people are defending what has happened. You get me? Yeah. The narrative has already been set. Like, Raw, wait a minute, anyone can get it. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, so,
I always thought it originated from a clash between Dizzie and Asher, so that was never the original.
No, that's just music, innit? That's music. That weren't no beef or anything like that. Not that it was beef at any time at all, anyway. But
I mean, how the situation has that sort of gone throughout the years? Because Wiley, Dizzie, Mega, it all stems from legendary people within the game. As time allowed that to sort of say, you know, what was he doing? That was silly.
Yeah, it was a mad little situation. Mad situation, and I think it kind of hurt the industry a little bit at that point as well. I think straight after that, they more or less shut down urban music. Yeah. So nobody weren't getting signed or anything like that. They weren't interested in signing no urban music after that. After that, it was Dizzie was the face. Yeah. If you remember rightly, there was some years where Dizzie was the face.
After the Boy in the Corner.
Right, straight after that.
And that also helped him as well. Like, right, he's been stabbed and now... Yeah.
You said it.
Yeah, so that
then that's what I'm saying, to be honest, like,
And do you think that situation then popped down? Not that so can everybody pop down, but do you think that's sort of like that? We're not messing with these guys no more in the industry.
There was other things that's happened with So Solid before that anyway.
Yeah.
And that was never. It was never that big of a situation, really. It's more what the media made it and what obviously Diz makes it at times because, you know, it's his feelings in it and whatever not, and he's allowed to feel how he wants to feel. But like I said, it kind of started from Diz, you get what I'm trying to say? Which is why it happened, you know what I mean? And whatever not.
I mean, at which point then did you sort of say, you know what? I'm not rapping no more. I'm not continuing with this sort of music thing at the time. Was it ever a period, or is it a thing that where you always kind of still been in the background?
No, do you know what? After we made the business mixtape, I was like, bro, you know what? I'm not really in a rapping thing, to be honest. I don't really like the limelight too much. You get me? Like, I don't really do too much talking. You get me? Although I'm talking now. Yeah. But I thought, you know what, let me start rapping. Page and Dubz, like, people are feeling them. Everywhere I go, I tell them about Page and Dubz. You get me? Like, there's a lot of people that I already knew in the industry that I would carry their names everywhere I go. I got a CD, whatever not, and I'm force feeding people this. Yeah. You get me? There's some people that in the beginning would be like, nah, but I said, brother, you mad? And I'll gas it up till they like it. You know, one of them ones that was kind of the power that I had. Yeah. You know what I mean? And such. So, I used to kind of use that a lot, you know what I mean? And get the thing, so, yeah. You know.
And you just thought, you know, you couldn't be bothered no more afterwards?
Yeah, not even to say I couldn't be bothered no more.
Did you feel like no doors were opening?
There wasn't, remember, like I said, the industry was kind of closed at that point. Gigs kicked the doors open. You get me? Like, they shut the doors on us and Gigs just kind of booted them back open with his own thing. Yeah. But at that time, YouTube's out now. Yeah. So there's nobody stopping you putting out content. You get what I'm trying to say? And obviously, where we kind of grew up in a spoiled era of music, anything we tried to do, we tried to make it as good as we could. And that cost money. Yeah. And it's like, most of the time, I was the only one funding it, really. You know what I'm trying to say?
You couldn't go from sort of having videos like what So Solid done to now saying we're having YouTube videos.
Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Oh, them man fell off or something.
Right.
Like that.
So that was the kind of, you know, brain space that we was in at that time. Or I was in at that time, I should say. I'll speak for myself. You get me? But, it was a lot more difficult them days, man. And I think to get the name to where it was, where, you know, you've got, you know, people who are out there making millions off of music right now, mentioning some of these people that I definitely, you know, put my all in that I could at the time to make things happen.
Because you mentioned before as well, like Krypton Conan, you kind of
I remember
worked with them a little bit.
So another member that was in Cream as well, Young Meth.
Yeah,
you get me? Meth, Young Meth was in Cream. Young Meth, he's a good A&R still as well. He's a good A&R. He's got a good ear for music. So he must have said, wow, blood, there's these two from Gypsy Hill. That's where he grew up anyway. Yeah. He goes, blood, listen to them, you get me? Be bad there. Blood, what are you talking? Listen, call him now. Whatever not. Called them at some point, and then they've gone to organise the SBTV, which four of them all together. Yeah. Obviously that went crazy. You get me? People were liking that, and I was like, raw, you know what? Well, we need to make them Cream, because at that time Page was kind of drifting off with some of the other guys that was within my crew that wasn't really for the crew anymore. You get what I'm trying to say? So he was kind of drifting over there. So it was Dubz and Meth left. Yeah, you get me? So it's like, right, you know what? Them two come in as well, because they all had the same style, all from Gypsy Hill, and they all got the same sort of style. The way they feed off each other is crazy. You get what I'm trying to say? So that was like the whole plan. But then Dubsy got in a bit of passer down in Brixton at the time because of a track that got made and whatever not. You know what I mean? And then from there, you know, them times there, your hood credibility is everything, innit? So if a little one thing happens, people want to look at that as something big, you get what I'm trying to say? And at that time, that hurt the release of his mixtape that was just coming. Remember, you're the hottest thing, people think you're the maddest truth. You get what I'm trying to say? That something happens, they want you to go out there and kill someone tomorrow. Otherwise, you get what I'm trying to say? And that's not the right way to do it, obviously. You get what I'm trying to say? So to me, in my opinion, that definitely hurt the release of his tape, because he was right behind Gigs, man. No, he's right behind Gigs. You get me? And like I said, even in Napa, like with the whole Odd Body CD, like I remember I swear gigs used to buy like a few thousand a time. You get me? Like no one went out there and bought 10, 20,000 CDs. Gigs would buy like a few thousand a time. And I remember, I think Michael Million or somebody printed them. And me and one of the other guys that was in my crew, the one that knew gigs, he's gone and said, "Rob, B, come put some money together and get a next 1,000 or something." Yeah. And that's what we done, you get me? So I must went to Iron Upper as well with about like, I don't know, like half my suitcase or something, CDs of Odd Body. I was over there just dishing it out. Obviously at the time, that was the latest thing that had one of my artists on it, Dubz, you get me? So I just helped pushing that as well. And I love what Gigs is doing, you get what I'm trying to say? He's the hottest thing in London, you get me? And especially in South at that time, you get me? So his thing was just starting to filter, you get me? At that point, this is when like Talking the Hardest is on thingy now. It's starting to move, the momentum's going crazy. So when I've gone over there, I'm over there Iron Upper for like 3-4 weeks at a time, you get me? Whatever not. So I was out there just giving out a CD everywhere. And everyone started playing it. In the clubs, everyone's playing it. You get me? Obviously, through the power of what he's doing. But the CD's getting out there. Everyone had it in their cars now. You get me? The people who didn't have it, had it now. You know what I'm trying to say? And stuff like that. So, yeah. And then after that, Giggsy come over and got his first booking over there. I remember this as well, you know, like another one. So yeah, it kind of speaks about, I think him and he's made a little cartoon actually of when Mega and I was speaking to him about, because basically there's a guy called Play, Mr. Play, you get me?
DJ.
Yeah, the DJ. So he had Ice Club on like, I don't know, one of the days of the week, I'm not sure what day it was, but he booked gigs, but he kind of booked gigs for not too much money, you get what I'm trying to say? At that time, obviously,
change,
it was a change. Giggsy's coming up. He just, you get me, on his role, he's like, whatever makes the music go, that's what I'm going to do, you get me, to kind of, you get me? And I was looking at it and I said, nah, brother, like, bro, this club's going to be rammed because of you today, you know, like, what? Then me and Megs is like, we're talking, we're reasoning, you get me, whatever not. And I remember, he must, when he's saying, because he says, well, Meg says, bro, man, you should know, man, know your worth, you know, I was definitely one of the ones that said that in the beginning as well, you know, but for some reason I always get left out the story, you get me, man, but I know, big up Gigs, man, I love Gigs, you get me, like, he's a cool brother, man.
And through the back of that, those, from Dubz bringing, so not Dubz, Meth bringing Krypton Conan, it didn't materialise, what happened there? Yeah,
from there now, what it was, more little problems came with the artists, you get me, with getting them problems, and, you know, where them are like, instead of me being more of a, you know, I don't know, manager type of thing, I made it more of a brotherhood type of thing. So any passer they're getting into is spilling over onto me. You get me? So I think Krypton Cones must have had a little passer with some of my guys around a next situation. You know what I'm trying to say? It was like, I can't bother to go back into all that again. I've just come out of that. With these lot, I'm not going back into more thingy. But remember, Crep bought me their first mixtape.
Okay.
Tsunami, he brought me that first. I heard that before a lot of people. I guess, you get me, like in the order that he had it in and all that. He said, yo, B, like, what can we do? And, you know, my brother's, you know, he's in that position more time to kind of, you know, put people on. But I don't know, sometimes he doesn't kind of hear me as much as I'd like him to hear me. I love him to bits, but
so would you say kind of like was doing kind of A&R and say, look, this is the hottest thing?
You know what, I swear that I'm not going to even blow my own trumpet too much, but I think I'm a very good A&R. If at those times there, I had a job at a record label, I would have made this record label rich. Like Stormzy grew up on my road. He says it in his tracks, you get me, Clifton, you get me, like he grew up like where I grew up. You get me, basically. Like I've seen his whole career come up and blow up. That's another person.
Interestingly enough, Dua Lipa.
Dua Lipa, like
she's a worldwide phenomenon now.
Yeah, like, you know, I met up with Dua Lipa way before she got signed or anything. Before she even made that much music. You know what I mean? Linked her up. You know what I mean? Again, I brought her to my bro and said, yo, bro, look, these girls are stars. Because what it was a situation, it was like 4 of them. And at that time, I wanted to make a reality show from the 4 of them because they were different, but they were friends. You know what I'm trying to say? So like, I saw something different. But then off the back of that, bro, do his music. She can sing, you know what I mean? Let's see what we can make happen there. So we actually bring them down to the office.
Yeah.
Albert Samuels, Mega's partner, who managed So Solid in the beginning, we bring her down to the office, had a meeting or whatever not. But yeah, nothing happened.
So it seems like you're finding these gems, but you're not crossing the
not crossing the line yet. You get what I'm trying to say? Do you know what it is? Like I said, I'm 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
Yeah.
And you can't do both. And I need to do road to survive. Kind of thing. That's how it was because the industry wasn't fit yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think at that point, I was seeing people too early.
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to say, in all this history as well, there's a time where Jules Santana came over to the UK and there was that issue with him and what actually happened with Jules Santana?
Yeah, it's a long story long. You get me? Basically, me and one of my friends, I won't say his name still, but we and one of my friends, we went over to America to obviously get them over to do a concert. Yeah. Get me a free concert, 3 different concerts, Birmingham, Manchester and London. You know what I mean? So went over there, done the deal with them, whatever not. And then for some reason they didn't jump on the plane to come and do the concerts.
Okay, yeah. So you guys gave them the money, like everything, yeah.
Gave them a deposit, obviously, and whatever not. So yeah, from that obviously it creates an issue, innit? Like you can't just come back to England and think you're gonna eat some pounds. And you get me, and that's happened. Like it's some serious people. You get me, like.
So what actually happened when he came in? Because there's that video of him a little bit drunk and people are talking. Like what actually happened?
It's a funny situation. So yeah, man, they must have been at a hotel in London. I think it was near Shepherd's Bush, somewhere. So they come up there. So obviously we heard Jules is in the hotel. We've gone down there, seen them at the front. SAS, I think it was. We seen them at the front first, and then I think Santana and that walked down. So obviously from there we've just jammed them and said, "Yo, brother, what going with this paper area? You know, there's no way, no concerts ain't going on until all man gets you get me some change back kind of thing or whatever not." But yeah, that was a little situation. Then after that, I think. We must have put a couple guys on them to stay with them for the night. Okay. A couple men then went home, went to sleep, woke up the next day, and they were flying out. So we went to go and, try and broker a next door with them quickly. So then I think from the video and that's when we was at the airport. They were at the airport at the time waiting for a flight to go back. And just bring a couple of the roadman them up there to just catch their little 15 seconds of fame. You get me? And then obviously I called Dubz. Say, yo, Dubz, fly down here quickly. Freestyle him and Jules Santana looks good for the business, you know what I mean? So,
the situation was rectified.
Yeah, no, still not even rectified up to this day, to be honest. Okay. You get me? They still got to kind of sort out a deal. Like, that's why they haven't been here. Okay. Same thing with Cameron when he came over. Okay. You get me? The dogs got rounded up.
So they said them man can't even come over
here?
No,
they can't. No, they can come here. Obviously, we won't know if they're going shopping in JD Sports or whatever. No, we ain't going to know that. You get me? We ain't got eyes everywhere. But as to go and do a concert or anything like that, they'll have to, I don't know, probably get the SAS or something.
And one other thing, I guess, do you think that the UK sort of need the Americans anymore? Do you think that we're at the point that we're...
Hell no, we're setting the pace right now.
Because, like, for example, with the situation, I know also like with K-Colt when you're signed to Rock Nation, that's all a big deal. I know you done an introduction at one point.
Yeah, Colt's manager, you get me, one of our guys. I remember Beehive's Jay-Z's cousin. He's a good friend of mine, so as such, you know what I mean? And when he comes over, sometimes he will holler at us to come and see him and whatever not. So he's connected up with Shabs now, who, got a relationship through me. And that's how, obviously Shabs go for
Do you think we still need Americans then? Or
we don't need them too. Obviously we don't need them, like, we got the internet.
I'm starting to see that the Americans are more now looking over here across the pond to see what's going on in the UK.
We're setting the trend for everything. They dress like us. You get me, in everything now. Like half of them got properties over here, I guess already. Enough of them live here already.
Before they used to laugh at the man them for the jeans, they used to wear the baggy thing. Now they all changed their swag over there a little bit now as well.
There you go. That's what I'm saying. We definitely set pace with all that. You get me, like, for sure.
So in regards to your sort of like, for now, what is your interest now? What are you trying to do? Is it the music industry, film industry? Are you sitting in the background? Are you going to release a project yourself? What does it look like for you?
Right now, just working with charity that we're in now. Now, this is a charity project that we're doing. So we've got a studio in there. We're building a podcast room and that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And working with my boy Smarts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's kind of like what we're pushing right now.
With podcasts, every man and their uncle and aunt are doing a podcast now as well. So, but I think podcasts are now kind of like the new rappers.
I swear down, I think I listen to more podcasts than I do music now.
Yeah.
You get me? Like, there is a whole new wave, and like, you know, some of them have great topics. You know what I mean? Definitely when, you know, you see an interesting title, it's like, well, let me click on that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Here's some stories. Like,
Do you see yourself hosting one yourself?
Yeah, that's definitely something I want to do. You get me? When I get a bit more comfortable behind the camera.
Yeah.
But no, definitely, I'll be doing that shortly, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've got a few guests that I've already hollered at.
Okay.
That are, certified and that.
And in regards to the music and music industry, is that something that you're still working behind the scene on, or you just
Yeah, definitely. If I find a good artist, I thought I found one not too long ago, but something crazy happened.
Right. I'm starting to see a theme here. Are you attracted to this craziness? Because like,
do you know what? Sometimes I think that I don't know, but I know it can't be me as a person. Cause I got a good heart still. Yeah. You get me? And I know that I definitely put a lot in from my own, so it can't be me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I just got some kind of. You get me? I don't know, but yeah, it's that's a question I ask myself sometimes. Man, trust me.
And one of the things you mentioned earlier as well is that you're a father and you got 2 adult children. Is there a thing that where you sort of spoke to them about the things that you had to do in your past and also about your music? Were they fans of your music? You sort of like, because with my daughter, I say, look, I used to be a baller and I used to be a bad man footballer back in the day. Is that a thing that where you show them your old tracks and things like that?
Nah, I don't even show them nothing. My son grew up in the studio with me because at the time when we got signed and that, my son was born in 2002. We got signed in 2002, so he was in the studio with me. He knows. You get me? Like he definitely knows. My daughter, she's an A-class student. Man. She got, you know, great results for her exam, A's, a lot of A's.
And how important is father to you? Very
important, man. I've gone through a lot in the past 2 years when it's come down to fatherhood. You get me? Like, gone through a lot, definitely. Yeah, just to touch on it. You get me? Because I ain't afraid to touch on it anymore. Yeah. You get me? Like, there's a situation with my son and you know, 2 guys of another race. You get me? Tried to attack my son.
Oh, really?
Tried to attack my son. They got 2 knives from their. They took 2 knives from their kitchen and came and tried to attack my son. You get me? And he done what he needed to do. As such. You get me? And yeah, I'm sitting here right now waiting for him to come home.
So he's inside at the moment.
Yeah.
So as I know it's probably a hard situation to actually discuss properly, but as a father, because I interviewed my brother yesterday, I told my brother like, whatever he had done in life, I probably would have followed, and I told him that I can never blame him for the decision that I've made, but does he take any responsibility? And he's like, yeah, you know what, I take responsibility for that because I could have led you away. Do you ever think like, you know what, maybe the lifestyle that I chose to live also pushed him into that angle as well? Or is his own man and he just decided to do what he's doing? But I guess he's been attacked, so I guess he'll defend himself in that situation, but...
No, I see with my son, like, I was definitely strategic on how I wanted him to grow. Yeah. You get me? Definitely from the jump. So even down to, you know, the areas that we lived in, I encouraged the areas that we lived in at the time to, you know, let's not move there, let's go there. My son went to private school for most of his junior, what's it called, primary school. Yeah. He went to private school right up until the last year of primary of thingy. You know what I mean? Thank God for his grandmother and, you know, us pulling together and making it happen. Yeah. But yeah, so he was never exposed to that directly, nothing. That, you know what I mean? That's all kept away from my son. You know what I mean? That was all kept away from my son. So Yeah, no, I definitely don't blame myself. If anything, I got a I'm kind of glad he knows that, because he might not be here today.
Yeah. And in regards, I guess, the music now, in terms of drill, what's your thoughts on drill and how it is now?
That's where it becomes very touchy for me. I love creativeness in music, but I hate the fact that some of these youths are actually talking about what's happened and what they actually done. Like, you're actually giving the police an easy job to
But
do.
isn't it something that we've always done? Like, every rapper talks about this. I guess they didn't talk about it literally, but we kind of instigated or insinuated, sorry, that we took part in this, took part in that. Or is it they're being so detailed with it?
Yeah, it's the details. You get what I'm trying to say? It's the details that's making things spiral out of control. They're actually saying what they're doing. You get me? In back in the days, you would go around saying what you're doing.
Yeah.
It's only the people who knew what it was about would actually get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like, the whole world knows what you're saying. These kids are saying nowadays, which is a bit mad. You get me? As such, but I don't know, man. Obviously, you know, they're getting hold of these big knives. At the end of the day, I don't understand how they're getting hold of these big knives. I can't order a gun on the internet and it come to my house without feds kicking off my door. So why can a zombie knife come to your house without feds kicking off your door? Doesn't make sense. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, right. So to me, it's a whole bigger thing than that. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
It's a whole bigger thing, and that's what, you know, something needs to change in that department. You get what I'm trying to say? I don't understand how these zombie knives or knives and that are coming through the post.
What would you say is where would Cream Cartel sit in the UK rap legacy?
I don't think we get enough credit still.
You don't think enough credit?
No, we don't. I don't.
Let's say you got legends, you got your Megas, your Wileys, your Gigs, and so on. Does Cream Cartel sit in the top 10 of UK legendary groups, musicians?
100%, without a doubt. Because, and then, come on, you got some of the best artists in the UK mentioning people who grew under the Cream Cartel banner.
Yeah.
You get me? Like, Gigs, the landlord, innit? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, he speaks about Dubz highly, I think. Gigs will tell you, that's his favourite rapper.
Yeah.
You get me? And I definitely had an input of getting him out there. Like, everywhere I went, I had Dubz' name. Certain people didn't even like going. When we used to go on Charlie Sloth and all them stations, they didn't even know who Dubz and that was yet.
Yeah.
Due to my relationships, I say, like, listen, I'm telling you, and that's one thing I have to give a few people. In fact, you get me? DJ Target, Charlie Sloth, Laura and Jules that used to be at One Extra, DJ 279. Jenny Francis, all them people used to support me off the back. You get me? Like, they used to just like the music that Cream created, and like what it is with us as well. A lot of it's not documented. Yeah. So it's easy for people to forget. Obviously.
As I was gonna say, is there a thing that where I know there's sort of differences and things like that, but is there a thing that where there could be a Cream Cartel mini documentary just to sort of showcase that era? I guess you have to find. You might have secret footage that we don't know about. Is it still got footage, or do you regret not having all the footage of back in the day?
So no, I don't even think we got footage. This is the times that we came up in. You get me? Like, video cameras, man, weren't even on that. And at the time, like I said, when we was coming up, it was grimy eras. When Cream was doing all and going for it was grimy out here. Yeah, you know what I'm trying to say? So man didn't even want to be behind no cameras or doing no filming unless it was a music video or something like that. Yeah, man went on them with that, you know what I'm trying to say? So, yeah, it's crazy still. It's crazy. But, yeah, man, I definitely don't think we get enough credit, man. People need to put some respect on the name a little bit, man.
And where did the name Inch come from?
Inch, in fact, it come from one of my guys that I grew up with, basically. One of my dad's friends' son, he was called Inch. Yeah. He used to be a Peckham. He used to rep Peckham, in fact. Okay. You get me?
Inches?
Yes, Inches. Yeah. Right. Not the YPB one, but the PMS one. Okay. You get me? Yeah. So I kind of got it from there and just moved on, and now my little brother's got it as well. Big up Young Inch. You get me? Look out for his music. It's coming.
So is that a project that we can look out for now that you're participating in?
Definitely. My brother, like, you get me, I was supporting my bro anyway. You get me? So.
And what's the sort of music is he making at the moment?
He's making that rap stuff, man. Like, you know, he's making what we listen to. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's hard. You get me? And yeah, we're just gonna keep pushing that. You get me?
Any last words?
No, man, apart from big up yourself, you get me? Because I love what you're doing, you get me? Like, I love your platform. And I thought, yeah, this would be a good platform to just say a few bits and pieces, you get me?
No, I appreciate it. Thank you for taking part, man. And
Same
guys,
more,
tuning
man.
in, Cream Cartel, man.
Yeah, man, you already know. Cream. Big up, man. Yeah.
Bro.
That's not much shit. Yeah.